Okay, at this point, you should have finished your typing data analysis and submitted that. You should have taken your Google Sheets quiz and finished that. And now you're going to input data onto a shared spreadsheet titled Q1 Typing Data that you found at the bottom of the assignment for today. So I've got those sheets open up here at the top of the page. So this is what it would look like. So class period, I'm going to put 3P, last name Snell, speed. I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet that I submitted or I saw on Google Drive, wherever you put it. So my initial speed and my initial accuracy was right there, and I can copy, and I should be able to copy and paste that information, and it didn't. So that's actually really cool that it did that, because pulling, what it's trying to do is reference something that's not there, so you can't do that. So you can actually right click and go down to paste special and paste values only. And look, when I did that, it actually just puts the values that I tried to copy over. So if you ever run into, you're wanting to copy just the numbers that are there and not the actual formula, because you can click on these cells and see that there was a formula there. When I copy, if I don't tell it to do anything different, it's trying to copy the actual formula. But if I just want the values, then I need to tell it to paste just the values. So I'm going to go back over here to my final typing test. There again, copy. And remember, I want to right click, paste special, paste values only, and it pasted just the values only. Another cool tool that I haven't shown you guys that is at the top of Sheets, as well as Docs, as well as Excel, and Word, is this little formatting tool right here. So it says paint format, and I think it's going to work in here, so I may lie. But what it does is it's copying the format within this cell, and then when I click on these two cells, it automatically changes the formatting of those two cells. So it's a quick way to match formatting from cell to cell without having to go through and individually change the font, change the size, all that kind of junk. Makes it a little bit easier for you. So far, all of this information I've pulled from my typing data sheet. Even my growth is over here under my typing data sheet. So once again, I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste values only. And then, so the only thing that's missing is the time spent practicing for the last 30 days. So if you go to your typing.com and you're logged in, as I am here, when you look here on the screen, it gives me like a little dashboard and says, welcome back, Amber. So we want to look specifically at the stats from the last 30 days. So this is going to tell us how much time you spent practicing over the last 30 days. So my time typing, now, whether it's valuable time, those of you who wasted your time on the scoreboard, fifth period, is a different story. But it's at least going to tell you how much time you actually spent typing. So we're going to go through and pull this back over here. And look, it gives it a really ginormous, right? So if I want that to match the others, there again, I go to paint format and I fix it. Now, again, I love it when it kind of screws up because it allows me to do things that I sometimes don't realize I need to show you guys. So that's obviously a little bit different than the 30 minutes and 26 seconds that I thought that it was. So let's go undo. And hopefully you have some guesses why it did that. But if I formatted from this cell that had a percent on it, then it is going to try and format this as a percent as well. So let's try and format it from the cell that has speed. And it still tries to turn it into a number. And it's probably trying to do that because it is formatting it automatically, whereas I really want it on the duration. So if you notice that I went to format, number, and all of these different ways here are different ways that things can be formatted. And you can kind of go through and play with them if you want to and see what they look like. But it kind of really jacks up your numbers quite a bit. Some of you asked yesterday about your dates. You were trying to change the date so where it said September 20 whatever instead of it having 9/26. And there's more formats here. I mean, there's all sorts of formats. So depending upon what you need, it's there. So at this point, I've now entered my information here. This is not as a percent, and I want it to be, so I'm going to change it back there. And you notice that it's got more decimal spaces than that one, and that kind of makes me a little bonkers. So I'm going to decrease those and have that look essentially the same way. Also, I want to make sure that this is center aligned because it makes me just a little neurotic. So that's all you have to do on this spreadsheet and kind of where you find the information from it. Once you have inputted this information on here, this is the final part of your grade for your typing data spreadsheet. And I will get things graded over the weekend.